Have you ever wondered if there's more to you than meets the eye? What if I told you that across the world's religions and spiritual teachings, there's a hidden thread, a whisper that echoes through time, suggesting something extraordinary about our true nature? Picture this. You're not just a person watching a video. You're a cosmic being, temporarily forgetting your divine nature to experience life as a human. Sounds wild, right? But what if it's true? Welcome, seekers and skeptics alike, to a journey that might just change the way you see yourself and the world around you. We're diving deep into a question that's both ancient and revolutionary. Are we all, in some profound way, expressions of the divine? Are we, dare I say it, God? Now, before you click away thinking this is some New Age nonsense, hear me out. This idea isn't just some modern spiritual fad. It's a thread that runs through many of the world's great religions and philosophies, often hidden in plain sight. Let's start our journey in the East, where this concept is perhaps most explicit. In Hinduism, there's a Sanskrit phrase that encapsulates this idea beautifully. Aham Brahmasmi. It means I am Brahman, or I am the ultimate reality. This isn't saying you're literally everything in a physical sense, but rather that at your core, your true self, you're one with the divine essence that permeates all of existence. The Upanishads, ancient Hindu texts, go even further. In the Chandogya Upanishad, we find the Mahavakya, great saying, Tat Tvam Asi, thou art that. It's a direct pointer to the idea that your individual self, Atman, is identical with the ultimate reality, Brahman. But it's not just Hinduism. Buddhism, while not speaking of a creator God, teaches that we all have Buddha nature, the innate potential for enlightenment. The Mahayana Buddhist tradition especially emphasizes this, suggesting that realizing our Buddha nature is recognizing our true self, which is inseparable from the ultimate nature of reality. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Sure, that's Eastern philosophy, but what about the Western religions? Surely they don't say anything like this. Well, buckle up, because things are about to get really interesting. Let's turn to the Bible, a text that many assume preaches the complete separation of God and humanity. But there are verses that, when examined closely, hint at something far more profound. In Genesis 1:26, God says, "Let us make mankind in our image, in our likeness." Now, what does it mean to be made in the image of God? Is it just about appearance, or is it pointing to something deeper, a shared essence perhaps? Jesus himself said some pretty revolutionary things. In John 10:34, he quotes the Psalms saying, "Is it not written in your law, I have said you are gods?" This is a reference to Psalm 82:6, which states, "I said, you are gods. You are all sons of the Most High." Now that's not something you hear in Sunday school every day. But wait, there's more. In Luke 17:21, Jesus says, "The kingdom of God is within you." It's as if he's pointing to a reality where the divine isn't some distant figure, but an integral part of who we are. And in the Gospel of Thomas, a text not included in the Standard Bible but revered by many scholars, Jesus is quoted as saying, "The kingdom of God is inside of you, and it is outside of you." He goes on to say, "Split a piece of wood and I am there. Lift up the stone and you will find me there." This paints a picture of divinity that's not separate from the world, but permeating it, including us. Even in Islam, which strongly emphasizes the unity and transcendence of God, we find hints of this idea. The Sufi tradition, the mystical branch of Islam, speaks of fana, the annihilation of the self in God. The great Sufi poet Rumi wrote, "I searched for God and found only myself. I searched for myself and found only God." Now let's jump to more recent times. The 20th century Indian sage Ramana Maharshi taught that the fundamental question we should ask ourselves is, who am I? He suggested that if we follow this inquiry deeply enough, we'll discover that our true self is not the body or the mind, but pure consciousness, which he equated with the divine. Even in the realm of science, we find ideas that resonate with this ancient wisdom. Carl Sagan famously said, "We are a way for the cosmos to know itself." And as we've delved deeper into quantum physics, we've discovered a level of interconnectedness in the universe that borders on the mystical. But here's where it gets really interesting and challenging. If there's truth to this idea, why don't we feel divine? Why do we struggle, suffer, and make mistakes? Well, that's part of the beauty and mystery of existence. It's like we're playing a cosmic game of hide and seek with ourselves. Imagine you're an actor so immersed in a role that you've forgotten you're acting. That's kind of what spiritual teachers suggest is happening to us on a grand cosmic scale. We're so caught up in the human experience that we've forgotten our true nature. The Indian philosophy of Advaita Vedanta calls this forgetting Maya, the illusion that makes us think we're separate from the divine. It's not that the world isn't real, but rather that we're seeing it through a veil of misconception. In the Gnostic tradition of Christianity, there's a similar idea. The Gospel of Philip, another non-canonical text, says, "Ignorance is the mother of all evil." This ignorance isn't a lack of information, but a forgetting of our true nature. But here's where it gets really exciting. If there's truth to this idea, it means we have untapped potential beyond our wildest dreams. It means that the love, creativity, and power we see in the idea of God isn't something external. It's within us, waiting to be discovered and expressed. Think about it. How would you live differently if you knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that you were an expression of the divine? How would you treat others if you saw God in every face you met? The Jewish mystical tradition of Kabbalah teaches about tikkun olam, repairing the world. It suggests that each of us has a unique role in healing and perfecting creation. What if that role is remembering and manifesting our divine nature? In the Bhagavad Gita, one of Hinduism's most beloved texts, Krishna tells Arjuna, "I am the self seated in the hearts of all creatures." He goes on to say, "The fool whose mind is deluded by egoism thinks, I am the doer." This suggests that our sense of being a separate self, disconnected from the divine, is the root of our suffering. Now, I'm not saying we should all go around claiming to be gods. That might make family dinners a bit awkward. But what if we approached life with the understanding that there's something profoundly sacred within ourselves and everyone we meet? How would we treat ourselves differently? How would we approach our problems and challenges? Would we be so quick to judge others if we saw them as divine beings having a human experience? This isn't about inflating our egos. In fact, it's quite the opposite. It's about recognizing a deeper truth that connects us all. It's about seeing the divine spark in every person, every creature, every aspect of this magnificent universe we're part of. The 14th century Christian mystic Meister Eckhart put it beautifully when he said, "The eye through which I see God is the same eye through which God sees me. My eye and God's eye are one eye, one seeing, one knowing, one love." In the end, whether you see this idea as literal truth, a beautiful metaphor, or an interesting philosophical concept, it invites us to expand our perspective. It challenges us to look beyond the surface of things, to seek the extraordinary in the ordinary. So, the next time you look in the mirror, take a moment to really look into your own eyes. In that reflection, you might just catch a glimpse of something greater, a hint of the cosmic, the divine, the eternal. And remember, whether you feel like it or not, you might just be a god on an incredible human journey. What do you think? Are we all expressions of the divine, or is this just a beautiful metaphor? How would your life change if you embraced this perspective? Let me know in the comments below. And if this video expanded your mind, don't forget to like and subscribe for more cosmic contemplations. Until next time, namaste. The divine in me recognizes the divine in you. Or should I say, the you in me recognizes the me in you. Either way, keep seeking, keep questioning, and keep exploring the magnificent mystery that is you.